All right. Good morning. It is Thursday, December 8th, and I am going live here to talk about uh, are we busy planning a new high frequency, high vibrational uh, life for ourselves? Are we so busy planning it or are we doing it? Are we dreaming? Are we stuck in the dreaming loop, the planning loop? These become loops. There are things that we can do to beautiful things to do, to consider, to reflect, to contemplate what we want so that we can put our intention and our attention in the right places. Um, there's so much more to it, and it's really quite so beautiful. I have spent so much time uh, planning and recognizing that planning is a loop. It's pretty much just a hobby. Right? Because most of the things that get planned, um, you know, they don't often when I say planning, what I'm talking about is every day, scribbling down in my journal the things I might do that day or um and really being disconnected, right? So being stuck up here in the thinking mind instead of dropping into my heart space, into the place of true creation. And so, anyways, um, I just want to come on today and do a little bit of reading from Livelihood. So, this is Livelihood 31 Days to Create, 31 Days to Explore Work, Time, Money, and Intention to Create Your Best Life. And when I wrote this book, this was basically the year 2017 wrapped up for me. These were all the questions that I was sitting with when I was ready to make a big leap into the unknown of self-employment. A really big leap. It is a big leap. It's beautiful. It's challenging. It's demanding. It is a spiritual practice. Everything's a spiritual practice. It was the one I wanted to follow. And then we get lost in the noise, because it's a busy, busy world. And the true way that we want to approach life, that we want to approach work and time and money, and using our intentions to create the life that we are here to live, right? So I'm here to live Andrea's life. You're here to live your life. And how do we get the noise of everyone around us, whether it's our family, our friends, our spouses, our children, our bosses, coworkers, uh, whoever it is? Can we get those voices out of our head and lean into our own voice? Can we lean in? Can we stop planning? Stop stop planning endlessly and take little bitty actions, little bitty steps towards ourself. There's this beautiful notion in the Taoist philosophy, which is called Wu Wei, right? And it's effortless action is how it's often translated. Effortless action arises from the heart. It isn't about planning. It's about taking one step towards what we want. And so, anyways, I want to read today um, just a very short section. This is 31 days of questions, contemplations, things that we can reflect on. And this is from day 17. It says, what is the value of time for you? Is it a dollar value, a creative or energy value, a spiritual or social value? How do you use your time? Is every day similar or wildly different? Is there less free time? Oh, if there was less free time, what would you want your schedule filled with for it to be satisfying? Okay, so uh, I'm just noticing something on this page. Uh, what would you fill your schedule with? Or would you fill your schedule if you didn't have to concern yourself with the things you're currently concerning yourself with, right? Do you go to work solely for money? What are the areas that you get satisfaction from? Do you want to jump ship and go and do something entirely new, right? These things, they do often take time, but they don't have to. When I left, I knew I was leaving for quite a while. And I sat for about a year answering all the questions because all these things came up for me around money, around what work really meant to me, around my time. Time is the most valuable thing for me. When I say time, it really equates to space and freedom. And so I've done everything in my life to bring it into a place of having the most maximum um, freedom with my time that I possibly can, and doing the things that are meaningful to me. Even when we come into a life, hey, Eileen, beautiful to see you too. Even when we are sort of committed to a life of being of assistance, of service, of wanting to work with people and help people, whether that's through our creativity, through our heart, through our abilities um, to guide them or to uh, help somebody when they need something fixed in their house, right? Whatever the thing is, we limit the notion of being of service a lot. It's really the heart. Um, so planning versus doing. What are you what are you continuously planning and not taking action on? That's where we can start to notice. I wrote this article called 11 Steps to, it's about meeting your resistance and the notion of resistance. Resistance, are we resistant to the thing or are we, um, how to say this best? Do we resist ourselves, right? Stepping into something that excites us, really like a big audacious thing that excites the heck out of us? Or are we resistant to it because it's not the right thing? And so that's when we come into our heart and we get quiet and we meet ourselves with good questions and openness. We start to see really clearly what is right for us. And we start to notice our fears and our apprehensions and our worries and our concerns, things that might be blocking us. And then we can start to release those through different ways, right? Through, I work with clients doing a lot of energy healing and different modalities to release these old patterns that come into play and block us from taking action on the thing that we are most deeply ready to do, but are afraid of. And then there's resistance to things that we stay stuck in a job because, or we stay stuck in the wrong thing or the wrong relationship or the wrong um, mode of something. Mm, we stay stuck because we maybe don't believe we're worthy. We have resistance to the thing, we let it make it miserable. We're doing it, and we're resistant to it, and we're unhappy. And there's this thing over here, this big, audacious, beautiful thing, or a very simple thing. It doesn't have to be big and audacious. It can be simple and gentle and flowing and free. So while I may not be very clear right now, what I'm talking about is noticing that dichotomy inside yourself, noticing. And to do that, you have to sit down with yourself. You have to meet your heart and you have to notice the patterns of the thinking brain, the stinking thinking. You have to become aware. You have to increase your awareness. And that's how we create our best life. We're not running on autopilot. We're not running on other people's voices that have been programmed into us. We're not operating on our own accepted programming, the programming we input over years in different parts of our life because those programs helped us do what we wanted to do then. But you're ready to do something different now, or you wouldn't be watching this, or you're ready to make some shift around the way you show up in the world, how you spend your time, what you do with money, if you don't have money, right? None of these things are There is no right one answer. There is your answer for you at this time, at this now moment. So, are you doing that? Are you living in a way that brings you peace and joy? Um, that's up to you. It's up to you to decide what matters for you. This is nothing new. What I have, I encourage you to take a look at Livelihood. I've got a digital program of it. You can get the book as well, the print copy currently on Amazon, and you can get a digital version of this, because what it does is it takes you through beautiful questions around work, around time, around money. Oh, the money issues. Oh, the money questions we have. Money's not even my like thing, and when I say that, it's not an issue for me, and yet it's all around. And so there is even I've always said money isn't really that important to me, but what is important, what I have come through close the circuit on, I guess, is that my time is very valuable, to me. It is incredibly important for me to have time to spend in the way I choose. And so that affects how I receive and give resources. So we can say money, but let's talk resources, a bigger version of money. These are all linked, and it's up to each of us to know if we want to live a life truly free, really live from our hearts, creating the best life that we can. And that's very unique to you. It's very unique to you. The link, if you're interested in exploring some really meaningful questions, it'll be down in the description for this episode. But, anyways, thank you for listening. I'm gonna sign off now, and I hope that whatever you do, whatever path you take, that it always takes you closer to yourself and not further away. That it allows you to release the patterns and the programs that no longer serve you. Um, for me, the most important thing is living genuinely and freely in my heart and sharing in whatever ways I can, and carving out time for myself to pursue things like writing new books and making art and making music and singing songs to my cats, singing crazy songs to my cats. So, um, yeah, thank you for your time. I truly appreciate you, and take care.